Okay, back on the Eastern Front. Back on the Eastern Front in combat mission Barbarossa to Berlin. And I am playing as the Soviets. Oh. Attacking the Alytus Bridgehead. So I think I want to adjust some of these orders a little bit. Don't quite want them to rush forward just yet. What I want is for them to be in position to start rushing forward as soon as possible. Get positioned, but I want them to move forward together. Right now I'm having them all move different distances, which is going to take a different amount of time, so they'll arrive piecemeal, which is not what I want. Got those BT-7s. Hold off for time being. Might have the BT-7s be the ones to rush around the hill. Got these machine gun only tanks here. First of all, let's have these infantry move to contact up towards that hill. And if that platoon should stay put and this platoon should move forward, or just because this platoon is currently facing off with several buildings that may have Germans in them. In fact, they probably do have Germans in them. So that means this platoon has a little further to go to get to the same objective, but that might actually be a better division of labor there. Alright. Now, this platoon of T-26s may actually be fine starting where they are. No, I don't want reverse, I want rotate. Just get them pointed generally that way. They can swing into the attack on the right from where they are. But these other two platoons, and you know, machine gun only tank platoon is just going to focus on supporting these infantry into their attack on the hill, on South Hill. And these other 2 tank platoons are going to position themselves to join in on this attack here. Again, the idea is I want to fight half of the German force with all of my force. And I think if I concentrate everything on the right here, well, there'll be some stretches where maybe they'll be able to get angles on me. But once, yeah, certainly once we're maybe up to about this point, the left half of the German defense will be screened by rolling terrain and buildings, so half of their tanks will not be able to shoot at my tanks, while 100% of my tanks will be able to shoot at theirs. At least that's the idea. So I wonder if, could it be worth keeping these platoons over here? I'm thinking, you know, as my attack swings around their flank, a lot of them may start to turn to face the new threat, at which point this side here will become their flank. So that might be worth keeping some tanks over here to exploit that possibility. So this isn't exactly a safe place to wait. The setup zone is, you know, our starting positions are in line of sight and presumably in line of fire to some of the German positions. Yeah. So if I'm going to move these guys, I probably want to do it right now. This platoon is in a safe place to wait for the time being. Okay, but these BT-7s being very fast tanks, how far over should I move them? I could have the BT-7s falling right behind this T-34 platoon. Alternatively, maybe I want this... Nah, this T-26 platoon can follow that T-26 platoon, so these BT-7s are going to follow this T-34 platoon into action. Still thing. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and let this first turn play out. They're already getting quite an exchange of fire here. Okay, we're gonna have to zoom in on some of these actions. One of the T-34s is knocked out. Tough, but far from invincible. Some of my T-26s are knocked out. Oof. Okay, a bloody first turn. Okay, there's the Panzer III, Panzer 38T, Czech tank. A half-track with a 37mm gun. Effectively an equal threat to the Panzer 38T. Well, okay. I guess the 38T actually has a more powerful 37mm gun. Slightly. So over here we knocked out the half-track. But there were more vehicles. Panzer IV knocked out. Meters here. At 1,000 meters, our 45mm guns can punch through 29mm of armor. Panzer IV has 30mm of frontal armor. Oh. Okay, so that was one of our T-34s knocked that one out. Machine guns are finding things to shoot at. I guess. Oh, wow. This. Yeah, that T-26 got knocked out pretty quick. That T-34 also got knocked out pretty quick. So side turret partial penetration on that Panzer 38. From the T-34s. Okay. Got our first exchange. I got some hits in, but overall that I don't think was a favorable exchange to me. Okay. I think we just need to get our tanks into action as quickly as possible. As many of them into action as possible. Is just target the shooter. It's delayed too much, so we'll let you just focus on finishing those orders. But and these BT-7s are going to swing around. They have further to travel, but they're faster tanks, so they should have no trouble getting there. start rushing onto the German flank. Okay. See if this turn goes any better for us. Oh, yeah, we got a penetration there. Panzer IV. Is this platoon here completely wiped out, or did any of them make it out? So we lost 3 BT-7s over here. Oh, what did we knock out there? Ah. Another half-track, just armed with the machine gun. This is kind of turning out to be an almost entirely pure tank fight. I'm sure the enemy must have... I mean, the briefing said they do have some infantry. So the infantry will no doubt start to become a factor as we get closer. So I lost... Okay, my M31 T-26s. Model of 1931 T-26s. B-27s are managing to rush around the flank. Those T-34s are managing to carry out their orders. Alright, I think we're going to start to gain the upper hand in the coming turns. Yeah, these little T-26s here, certainly I consider them to be fairly emblematic of the early war Soviet armored forces. I mean, it isn't a good tank, but it is... I do think the T-26 is a much better tank than many people think. Like, there's three things that don't sound like they should be simultaneously true, but are simultaneously true, which is, the T-34 is nowhere near as good as many people seem to think. The T-26 is nowhere near as bad as many people seem to think. But the T-34 is much better than the T-26. But, the T-26, it works. It's got armor that's good enough to keep out anything that isn't specifically designed to punch through armor. It's got a gun that can punch through, a respectable amount of armor by early war standards. It's fine. It's a perfectly adequate, par, early war tank. Okay. Oof, okay. So I gave some of these guys enough orders that they actually have fairly substantial orders delays to work through. I was going to give this guy the rest of his orders this turn on the theory that the orders delay will have counted down by now. We might... Yep. Too late to shorten your orders delay, I guess. No. That one. You. that distance. Okay, actually that is a perfectly accurate position there. Okay, and next turn. Yeah. Because the T-26s haven't gotten moving yet, and I gave the BT-7s their orders on the assumption that the T-26s would be moving by now. Ag. Okay, so that's not going well over there. Okay, our T-34 platoon here is moving forward once more. We are identifying some enemy infantry. That looks like we've got a gun there. An anti-tank gun, no doubt. Yeah, okay. The gun there. Okay. Now that we're starting to identify where the enemy infantry are, that'll allow me to start making decisions such as where to send, you know, what to have my artillery shoot at. Get my artillery into the fight. You're shooting at a 440 meter target. So we've penetrated that Panzer 38. Doesn't look like we've killed it just yet. Oh, but I suppose I should watch my 4 T-26s over here get knocked out. Being a little too aggressive with them, I think. Next platoon I should hold back a little bit. Keep these trees between them and these enemy tanks over this way. T-34s are taking some hits. Oh, why isn't this BT-7 moving? Did I forget to give it orders? I may have forgotten to give it orders. Do you have a target? No, don't have a target. Panzer II versus a T-34. That's not exactly a fair matchup. Ooh, but it looks like my BT-7 may be about to get a shot next turn. $400 meters, so we're looking at more than 33 millimeters of penetration. But we're at like a 45-degree angle here. So if it hits the front armor, you can probably expect the shot to be defeated. If it hits the side armor, even with the angling, I'm betting it'll go through. And speaking of angles, I guess, you know, it is, you know, there's a surprising myth out there that the T-34 invented sloped armor. It's, you know, surprising that it's so prevalent because it's just so easy to disprove. I mean, here we get, you know, Panzer II. Panzer II precedes the T-34. I think we can all agree on that, right? Look at that slope right there. And you will see slopes on tanks going back as far as World War I. Like, they understood how slopes worked. But yeah, like, right there, sloped armor. And we have that significantly less sloped surface here for the driver. Actually, this right here is sloped, just on a different plane. But, you know, this is significantly less slope here, of course, because the more slope you put into your armor, the more volume you're stealing from inside the tank, and they figured they needed enough room for the driver. But up here on this front slope here, you know, there's enough room to steal by having a fairly sharp slope there. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, so he does have his orders. He's just got a really long orders delay that's still got another 61 seconds in it. Yeah, there's definitely more factors that go into what the orders delays are than just how many orders you've given. Okay, but I want to give... We're going to target some artillery on that clump of trees, which is known to contain an anti-tank gun. You want to bring these tanks... Bring their orders back a little ways. Stop right there. Right where you are. That will be more than good enough. There's probably no point in targeting artillery at that one. So where is... There's the spotter. So okay, maybe I could target artillery close to it. But we've already got so many tank guns with line of fire to it. I'm not sure that would actually do any good. Nope. Cancel target. That is infantry sounds. Now, I wonder if it might be worth just giving a target wide right on the village. Now, do something with my artillery. We don't exactly have a massive amount of ammunition here. Okay, I think we'll begin the next turn here. Alright, we're getting more penetrations on the... Ah, okay, it is destroyed now. Starting to get some hits into that Panzer II. Ah, that's not ideal. What just hit you? Turret front. Oh. Was that the Panzer II that actually... Yeah, okay, I think the Panzer II killed that B-27 in its final moments. Yep. Right before it died, it managed to just score a BT-7 kill. We've got... Oh, okay, so we've got more tanks over here. Sound contact. So we don't know what that is. Okay, but we've got more Panzer IIs over here. Panzer II firing single shots. There's no reason it couldn't. I just kind of assumed that because it's got an autocannon, it would always fire it as, you know, it would always fire it in auto. But I guess, if, you know, does it have a single shot mode, or rate of fire is low enough that you could probably just, you know, if you're quick on the trigger, manage to pull off single shots. Started. Okay, so it's about at the 25-second mark that we identify some tanks on the far side of the river. I'm guessing these are all going to turn out to be Panzer IIs. Though, of course, you know, Panzer IIs are perfectly capable against my T-26s and BT-7s. Let's see, my T-26s and BT-7s have about 15 millimeters of armor all around. So at 1,000 meters they should be pretty safe, but at 500 meters the Panzer II should start, you know, punching through them. In fact, it should start punching through them somewhere between 500 and 1,000 meters. Oh, but that is a Panzer III. That will no doubt be able to kill my my T-26s at any range. If it can hit it, it can kill it. Yeah, most of these appear to be Panzer IIs, which, you know, remain a threat. Oh, what kind of Panzer III is this? This is, here. Okay, so, it's Panzer III with an L-42 50mm gun, which, you know, there's sort of three flavors of Panzer III that are worth paying attention to. The ones with the 37mm gun, the ones with the... there's two with 50mm guns. There's one with the L-42 and one with, I think the other one is L-60. And if you're not familiar with some of the, how some of the measurements work, L followed by a number refers to the length of the gun in multiples of the gun's caliber. So the Panzer II's got a 20mm L55, so the diameter of the caliber of the gun, the diameter of the bore is 20mm, and the length of the gun is 55 times the caliber. So L55 on a 20mm gun would be referring to a gun that is 20 times 50, about 1 meter in length. Or exactly 1 meter. And you sometimes refer to that as, like, instead of L55, you might hear 55 calibers, because it is 55 calibers in length. Or this Panzer III here, the gun is 42 calibers in length. So it's a 37mm Panzer III, and a Panzer III with a shorter 50mm gun and a Panzer III with a longer 50mm gun. Are sort of the three to pay attention to. And this is the one with the shorter 50mm gun. All three, of course, can take out my BT-7s and T-26s just fine. The 50mm gun ones are the only ones that should pose much of a threat to my T-34s. The one with the longer gun, of course, poses a greater threat to my T-34s. Of course, in reality, T-34s were knocked out by 37mm guns. It's just a lot more difficult to knock out a T-34 with a 37mm gun. Oh, do I have anything else? I think we are... Okay, I think the main thing that happened this turn was we killed that Panzer II, and we're getting fire on that gun. T-34s are getting hit but not taking damage. We did score another hit and kill that Panzer 38. Actually, what, okay, one of my T-34s got the kill. Panzer II. I've got multiple guns shooting at it. T-26s, BT-7s, and one of the T-34s. So who actually got the killing blow? not the T-34. So it was... Was it my T-26s? My T-26s might have been the ones to kill this one. Yeah, because there's a delay between the gun, when the guns fire. Yeah, okay, that was one of my T-26s that got that kill. Good work, guys. See, perfectly adequate early war tanks. Oh, did we take out... Okay. Looks like we lost the spot on that gun. And then we got 3 sounds. Okay. So there's the gun. We're putting plenty of fire down on it. I don't think we've taken it out just yet. We still have no idea what kind of gun it is. I suppose there are 2 possibilities. Either it's a PaK-36 or a PaK-38. PaK-40 doesn't exist yet. Oh. I lost a tank back here. It is this T-26 that was taking forever to get moving. Is it knocked out by this gun here? I think so. Yeah, it's finally... just when it's finally starting to get moving. Okay, so... yeah, it's not great. I think I'm inclined to just push. This isn't as dangerous as it would be later on, as, you know, it's 1941. There are no shoulder-launched heat chuckers. There are no Panzerfausts. There are no Panzerschrecks yet. So the only infantry anti-tank weapons are... well, there's anti-tank grenades are still a thing. and there's anti-tank rifles, so I do want to keep out of grenade range, ideally. But there is less to prevent tanks from just aggressively pushing forward than there would be later on. And right now, I think the thing to do is aggressively push forward. Because the main thing, like, there is no safety in sitting back right now and trading blows. We need to... The best safety is to kill the things that are killing us as quickly as possible. Okay, I'm gonna... Even though you're shooting at that anti-tank gun, I think I'd rather move you forward. I have other plans for dealing with that anti-tank gun. Plans which are... 7 minutes away. Oh, hang on. Shooting at it from 650 meters away. You have 40 high explosive rounds, which may be able to do the trick eventually. Yeah, I mean, I'll move you forward. Oh, got a 98-second pause there. Wow, okay. So each of these orders here is rather a significant pause. Why is that? Is it experience? No, it's not experience rating. Because vehicles with the same experience are getting shorter pauses. Is it morale? Is it... Oh, well, actually, distance from the commander might be a factor there. Oh, we've got these BT-7s that have stopped for some reason. I'm on turn 5 of 38. Let's let one more turn play out. Try to get an idea for what kinds of pauses I can expect here. You keep shooting at that Panzer II. You keep shooting at that Panzer II. Okay, that's 1,000 meters away. You are technically capable of penetrating that armor at 1,000 meters. In fact, you should be able to do it easily. It's just a question, how likely are you to hit at 1,000 meters? I think 1,000 meters is to World War II tanks about what 2,000 meters is to Cold War tanks. That is about the edge of what they have a reasonable chance of hitting the enemy at. Like the Cold War manuals kind of advise that, you know, as you get out to beyond 2,000 meters, tank fire becomes increasingly less likely to hit its target. And I believe the same applies to World War II tanks at about 1,000 meters, is that That is about the edge at which sitting and shooting is reasonably likely to have a good effect. So, yeah, okay, I think we will let you continue to sit there and shoot at that Panzer II. That is about the edge at which I can have a reasonable expectation of your fire being effective. Ooh, but you do only have 8 rounds left, so maybe... 8 rounds of armor piercing left, so maybe a reasonable expectation of being effective isn't quite good enough. Considering how little ammunition you have left, maybe I should go ahead and give you orders to push forward. In fact, I'm going to have you push forward a little bit further. Yeah, and actually the pause. Okay, you're going to have a bit of a pause anyway. So maybe not too much. Yeah. Okay. You are not currently fighting. Hit 1%. That's pretty low. Actually, yeah, what are your chances of hitting? 7%. Kill rare. Wonder, should I maybe go ahead and have you guys charge much further forward? And I'll just have to hope that they can't kill us all in the time it takes to cover that distance, or that my T-34s occupy some of their attention. But I don't think we're going to be terribly effective against these guys until we get considerably closer. Okay, yeah, you've got no chance of killing at this distance from this position. Yeah, what is that? Is 900 meters? Nope. Nope, hang on. Cancel that. Okay. Let's go ahead and play out the next turn. Oh, did I give these guys fresh orders? I know I was thinking about it. That one's bailing out now. And I think, yeah. I have been playing for more than an hour now, which is probably about time. After we're done with this turn, it'll probably be about time to stop for the day, or at least for the recording session. Anti-tank gun is going to be dead soon, I think. Yeah, we have actually knocked out most of the enemy tanks. We're taking a beating, but so are they. So we may be doing okay. perhaps unsurprisingly, of course, my T-34s have come off a bit better than most of the enemy. I'm gonna find out what kind of gun that is. Alright, well, I knocked it out, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Still, I'm curious. Did we accomplish anything over here? Seems like we lost some spots over here. Probably because my tanks were moving and I just don't see as well while they're moving. Okay, that's a Panzer 38T. Wait a minute, didn't we identify that as a Panzer III earlier? If misidentification is possible in CM1, then that's a neat feature. In fact, if misidentification is possible, the fact that these are firing single shots rather than bursts of autocannon fire could be an indication that maybe we've misidentified these as Panzer IIs. Could they all be Panzer 38Ts, perhaps? Okay. Now, I know I took a few losses over here. Okay, so that actually managed to ricochet an incoming shot. So, you know, the armor may be light, but it's not worthless. In fact, they must be getting hit by 20mm fire if it's capable of ricocheting those shots. I think we lost both of these BT-7s. You guys are not shooting at anything yet. Ow. It does kind of feel like my T-34s are the only ones really in the fight at the moment. But have we knocked out everything else? No, we haven't knocked out everything else yet. We've lost spot on a lot of things. We've knocked out that Panzer 38, we've knocked out that Panzer 38. We have, I think, knocked out some vehicles over here. We've knocked out Panzer 4 there. Panzer 4 there. But yes, probably a good place to cut it. We are taking horrible losses, but yeah, we're doing some damage in return. Got some burning German tanks. So yeah. That'll probably be the place where I'll cut it for now, and we'll pick up later.